Hello, everybody. I'm hoping you guys are doing very good. And certainly, you all are enjoying your college life, Abhita. You are having fun, you are meeting new friends, you are meeting new people, your professors are good, and everything is just going well as you expected it to be. And if you're still scared कि यार अभी दोस्त नहीं बनाने यार नहीं करना ये नहीं करना वो नहीं करना तो फिर कब बनाओगे? I think you should go and make more friends. It would be much fun. College life is all about you knowing new people and you enjoying it. It's just not about studies. And you have to make sure कि तुम लोग अपना बैलेंस लेके चल रहे हो हमेशा की तरह. ऐसा नहीं है सॉरी ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम एकदम पढ़ाई करी जा रहे हो. यू आर अ नर्डी पर्सन. मैं तो फर्स्ट बेंच पे बैठूंगा जैसे मैं स्कूल में बैठता था. मैं पढ़ाई करता रहूंगा सो दैट आई टॉप द क्लास. दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग. एंड तुम अगर ऐसे सोचो क्या मैं तो सिर्फ मस्ती करूंगा, पढ़ाई लिखाई क्या है, एंड में 2 दिन में पढ़ लेंगे, ऐसा नहीं होगा. ऐसा बिल्कुल भी मत करना. इकोनॉमिक्स में इन ऑनर्स में तो बिल्कुल भी मत करना. इट विल बी अ बैकफायर फॉर यू गाइज. यू नो, जस्ट मेक श्योर कि ऐसा ना करो. ऑलराइट, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद टुडेज क्लास. हमने लास्ट क्लास में वो सब पढ़ लिया था इकोनॉमिक्स में. हाउ वी यूज, एक सेकेंड, देयर इज, yeah, so we have studied quadratic functions and its application in economics till now. We'll be moving forward with chapter 3, and the next topic that we have to study is cubic functions, which comes under section 3.3, which is polynomials. So this is section 3.3. It's under polynomials. So what exactly do you understand by a cubic function? So a general form for a cubic function is something like this, which has a highest degree of 3. So it goes like ayq plus by square plus cy plus d, where you have to be very precise with these things. A B C D are constants and a cannot be equal to 0, because if a becomes equals to 0 then it's going to be a quadratic function, and we certainly do not want a quadratic function. We are studying cubic functions here, so a cannot be equal to a 0. All right, so this is what a quadratic function is. So how do we actually solve a quadratic functions? How do we find the roots for a quadratic function? Or generally we call them integer roots. So how do we find the integer roots of a quadratic function? So basically a short rule or a easiest way to find it for a cubic function is to use the remainder theorem. This is one of the easiest and the best way to find the roots for a cubic function or any polynomial out there. So general form for it is px, where px is our polynomial, is equal to qx, the question. X minus a would be a factor that would be given to us, or we'll have to hit and try to find a, and then rx would be the remainder, which in our case has to be 0 mostly. Alright. Let's try and understand it with an example. Let's say a question is given to us which says that our px is, that is our polynomial or a cubic function that is given to us, is 2x cube minus x square minus 7x plus 2, and it is given to us that at x equals to 2 it is 0. That means x equals to 2 is one of the integer roots for this cubic function. So let's check if this is true or not. If we put x as 2, we get 2 into 2 ka cube minus 2 ka square plus 7 into 2 plus 2, right? Upon solving it, we get 2 into 8 minus 4 plus 14 plus 2, which is nothing, 16 plus 10 it's minus, sorry. There is a sign confusion here. 16 minus 10 plus 2, which is nothing but 16 minus 16 equals to 0. So this shows that yes, x equals to 2 is a root. So we can make a factor out of it, which would be x minus a. X minus a we can make out of it where a's are 2, so x minus 2. This is one of the factors. Alright, so this is the first step in our remainder theorem. We need to find a factor with which we can divide the polynomial, which will give us 0. क्योंकि हमें पता है कि this is the solution, so we know that this is going to give us 0 when we divide it with it. So how do we divide or use the remainder theorem? So again we use the basic division sign जो हम लोग को बचपन से सिखाया था, और अंदर की तरफ हम हमारा polynomial लिखेंगे, just this. Alright, and हम इसको फैक्टर से डिवाइड करेंगे. सो द बेसिक टास्क जो हम लोग डिवीजन में भी सोचते थे, हमें हमारी पहली वाली नंबर को जीरो करना होता है. वी नीड टू एलिमिनेट नंबर्स ताकि हम एंड में जाके जीरो ले आए और हमें पता चल जाए कि किससे डिविजिबल है और इसका आंसर क्या है, कितने पे डिवाइड हो रहा है. दैट इज व्हाट वी डू इन जनरल डिवीजन. तो यहाँ पे भी हम लोग सेम फॉर्मूला को और सेम वे को फॉलो करते रहेंगे और विल डू इट. सो हमें ये देखना है कि 2x क्यूब है, हमें इसको एलिमिनेट करना है. सो व्हाट शुड बी मल्टीप्लाई इन x, दैट इज द फर्स्ट टर्म. तो हमारे पास जो है 2x क्यूब आ जाए ताकि वो एलिमिनेट हो सके. तो x में अगर हम लोग 2x स्क्वायर को मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो हमारे पास 2x क्यूब आ जाएगा. एंड सेम को हमें -2 से भी मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि हमें पूरे पॉलिनॉमियल से करना है. तो -2 into 2x square gives -4x square. Now the next step is we need to change the signs here. This becomes minus, this becomes positive. So this gets cancelled out and this becomes 3x square minus 7x plus 2. ये ऊपर से नीचे आ गए. नाउ फॉर 3x स्क्वायर को अगर हमें एलिमिनेट करना होगा तो हमें x में 3x को मल्टीप्लाई करना होगा. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी 3x स्क्वायर minus 6x plus 0. Again changing the signs. This becomes minus x plus 2. And to get minus x, we need to multiply minus 1, right? So it becomes minus x plus 2. Changing the signs, we get a 0 here, which is our remainder. So this makes it very clear for us कि yes, our division is correct क्योंकि end में 0 आ गया है and this thing is our factor. तो इससे हमें सब कुछ क्लियर हो जाता है. So the other polynomial or the quadratic equation that comes our way is 2x square plus 3x minus 1 and the other factor is x minus 2. So these particular equations would be giving us the integer roots for a quadratic equation. So how are we actually going to find the integer roots now? So one of the ways is we use our remainder theorem here, or we use our formula which we used earlier, that is minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a to find the value of x and the roots for it. Or we can try multiterm splitting if it fits in this rule, which comes out to be minus 2x square plus 2x. I don't think so it's going to work out in this case. Let's try again. It's minus 2x minus x minus 1. And the sign changes. So multiterm splitting wouldn't work in this case. So what you can do is you can put the values here and you'll be getting the roots. So one of the roots would be 2 and the other 2 would be found from this particular value. So I'm hoping कि integer निकालना roots, integer root निकालने आ गया and remainder theorem is very clear to you all. So you can practice a few questions for remainder theorem and it would become very easy for you to do this question. If you still have any doubt regarding remainder theorem, you can always reach out to me and understand. Alright. Let's move forward with our another topic, which is power functions. Remember, power functions is one of the very important, aspects, or you can say it's one of the Very important for topic for our examination point of view is, and it's very important for our derivations as well, which we'll be studying in further क्लासेस, जो कि हमारा कॉन्वेक्सिटी डेरिवेटिव्स वगैरह इन्वॉल्व करेगा, तो उसमें हमारे पावर रूल्स बहुत काम आएंगे. सो मेक श्योर कि यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस परफेक्टली. सो दिस इज सेक्शन 3.4 पावर फंक्शंस. I'll be giving you a few rules. Note it down and always remember them. These are a few rules to solve powers or power functions. The first one is, if x p by q is given to us, then it would be equal to, which can also be written to as, then it can also be written to as single or individual with power. The third rule is, just make sure कि तुम इन rules को लिख रहे हो एक जगह पे and you're always remembering them. This thing can never be equal to this. You know that this is an identity and you're not gonna do this mistake. And same for this one. Will never be equal to. And if this is given to you, then it's always going to be equal to 1 regardless, because anything to the power 0 is always 1. And this sixth rule is very important. Always remember it. Alright, these are the basic rules for your power functions. Let's try and solve a question for you to understand them better. Let us say if it's given to us that we need that this is the function that is given to us. Alright, and the question says we need to simplify the expression so that the answer contains only a single exponent for which variable x and y equals to this. So we need to make sure कि हम इसको इतना simplify कर दें कि इसमें हमारे पास एक छोटी सी और एक single variable term आ जाए और a single exponent term आ जाए. Exponent single term मतलब वो denominator में ना हो and it's just a single term. Alright, let's try. You have 2 minutes. Try it on your own and see if you can solve it. Let's do the question. So the basic and the first step in your mind that should come would be कि तुम्हें इसको cancel out करना है. You know that 5 and 625 can be cancelled out. So this will go on 1. And what will this go on? Guesses? You guys are math student ना? So I'm hoping कि अब तक सबको पता चल गया होगा कि what will this go on. So it's going to be So sorry guys, I just got some urgent work. So it's going to be 125. So the simpler version would be 125 whole to the power minus 1 by 3. इसको हम अलग रख देंगे because this is a constant form. And the variable form is this multiplied x minus 2 y 2 by 3 divided by x to the power 4 into y minus 4 by 3 whole to the power minus 1 by 3. तो what you have to do is कि the easiest way to solve this is कि x को अलग कर देते हैं और y को अलग कर देते हैं. 1 by 25 वाला हम अभी अलग रहने देंगे. x की powers are x to the power minus 2 upon x to the power 4 and whole to the power minus 1 by 3. And y में जो हमारे पास numbers हैं, it is y to the power 2 by 3 upon y to the power minus 4 by 3 and whole to the power minus 1 by 3. So let's solve it. We know that base is same here for x and y both. So we would be using that formula. So x would be x minus 2 minus 4 to the power minus 1 by 3 and y would be 2 by 3 plus 4 by 3 क्योंकि minus minus gets plus. So upon solving it we get this becomes minus 6 to the power minus 1 by 3 and this becomes 6 by 3 whole to the power minus 1 by 3. Now we can cancel out the powers. This gets 2 and minus minus gets plus because the powers would get multiplied and this also gets this. So it becomes x to the power minus 2 and y to the power minus 2 by 3. So our powers are completely simplified. What we need to simplify now is this. So this becomes, if the power is in minus, तो हम उसका reciprocal कर देते हैं. So we'll get 1 by 3 positive into x की power minus 2 into y की power minus 2 by 3. Also x की power wouldn't be minus 2 anymore क्योंकि वो minus minus cancel हो गया था. तो we know कि 125 जो होता है वो 5 का cube होता है. तो it would be 5 here. So it becomes this. So this would be your answer. A simplified version for your equation. तो ऐसे questions आ सकते हैं in your paper. And this is how you're going to use the power functions in your exercise as well. So most of the questions in your exercises are related to simplifying it, which I'm hoping you guys would understand and solve. If you still face any issue in simplifying the equations, then you're most welcome to reach out. Let us move towards the another topic in the same chapter. So the next section which takes us is section 3.5, which is exponential function. Exponential functions are very similar to what we actually study in the power functions. क्योंकि exponential functions are basically like subsets. Also, make sure that you would be finding out all the solutions for the back or the section exercises in your portal. So you can refer to the portal for solutions. And if you still face कि यार इसका solution समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, इसका solution गलत लग रहा है, इसका solution available नहीं है, so you can reach out to me. उससे पहले I would suggest you कि तुम उसको खुद से solve करो ताकि मुझे पता चल सके what you have tried to solve and where you are going wrong. Alright? Let's move forward with exponential functions. Exponential functions usually give us compounding growth. You understand what do we mean by compounding growth? Compounding growth is something like this. अगर तुम्हारे पास 2 है ना, तो वो multiply हो जाएगा. I mean it doubles. It always doubles. Like a chessboard you can say. It gives you compounding growth. It's into 2, it gives you 4. So we wouldn't be multiplying 4 into 2. We would be doing 4 into 4, which gives us 16. Then 16 into 16. Then so on. So it's like a compounding growth. So you always have to remember that exponential growth or an exponential function would always give you a compounding growth. जब कभी तुम लोग स्टॉक्स वगैरह में भी देखोगे ना, तो यू विल सी मेनी फंक्शंस एंड मेनी स्टॉक फंक्शंस हैविंग एन एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्राफ because they are giving compounding growth, and many other stock market things and many other investment projects gives you compounding growth. You have to make sure कि तुम कैसी compounding growth ले रहे हो. Most probably population growths have compounding growth and different functions in economics have compounding growth. तो तुम्हें देखना होता है. SIP calculators में भी बहुत सारा you are consider your compounding growth there as well. Compounding growth is a very vast phenomena which we use in our daily life. तो हम exponential formulas बहुत use करते होते हैं. तो always make sure कि तुम stats में भी ये बहुत use करने वाले हो. Basically the exponential functions are very useful in our statistical classes as well. So make sure कि तुम ये चीज अच्छे से समझ रहे हो कि what do we mean by them and what do we understand by them. Alright? Let's move to and understand what an exponential function is. So the general form of an exponential function is usually this, where this is the time. Usually it's the time. जितना वो बढ़ रहा है, वो जितना वो कम हो रहा है, जितने टाइम से वो जितनी स्पीड से बढ़ रहा है. And this is our constant term. Let us understand with an example because उससे तुम्हें अच्छे से समझ में आ जाएगा. It's example from a book itself which consider population growth. So what do you understand by a population growth? The question says, consider a growing population like that of Europe in example 2.13. We construct a linear function which is p equals to 6.4t plus 641. This is the variable and this is the fixed growth. Where p is our population in million and t is 0 corresponding to the year 1960 when the population was 641 million and t equals to 10 corresponding to the year 1970. When the population estimate was 705 million, according to this formula, the annual increase in population would be constant and equal to 6.4 million. This is a very unreasonable assumption after all. Populations tend to grow faster as they get bigger because there are more people to have babies. And the death rate usually decreases as it stays same, and we have better healthcare facilities as well now. In fact, you can understand with this question कि हम लोग यहाँ पे population growth की बात कर रहे हैं, and as how actually population growth increases. अगर हमारे यहाँ पे healthcare improve हो रही है, we are having more people to meet and produce more babies. So this increases the population and decreases the death rate as well, and increases the birth rate. So this is how population increases these days. तो it's given us a basically a equation जिसमें हमारा ये वाला area depends upon the year where t is 0 to 10 starting from 1960 to 1970, and this is the constant growth at year t0 पे. ठीक है. तो they are saying कि हम लोगों को what would then be is this. It's already given कि हमारा estimate है कि 1970 तक जो हमारी population होगी वो 705 million तक पहुंच सकती है. So this question basically explains how it leads an exponential growth for a particular population. I'm hoping कि ये चीज सबको समझ में आ रही है and we are understanding what they are actually trying to say us. So this is one of the real life example where we use an exponential function which explains the compounding growth of a population in a country. और आज की डेट में भी अगर हम इंडिया के भी पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ को देखें which is increasing at a very tremendous rate. Let's take another example which is not given in your book. It's an example of doubling time. सो इट्स ऑल्सो रिलेटेड टू पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, हम लोग ना पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ में एक चीज़ यूज़ करते हैं. व्हेन आवर पॉपुलेशन इज ऑलवेज डबलिंग, सो वी यूज अ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स नोन एज डबलिंग टाइम, जो कि रेफर करता है हमारा पॉपुलेशन को कितना टाइम लग रहा है डबल होने में. लेट्स से एट प्रेजेंट हमारी पॉपुलेशन 10 है, तो 10 का जो डबल होता है इस 20, तो कितना टाइम लगेगा हमारे पॉपुलेशन को 20 तक पहुंचने के लिए, विच इज नोन एज द डबलिंग टाइम. तो व्हाट इज द डबलिंग टाइम फॉर अ पॉपुलेशन टू डबल? तो इसको फाइंड आउट करने के लिए भी वी यूज एन एक्सपोनेंशियल फंक्शन. तो आगे हमारे पास क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. आई एम जस्ट एक्सप्लेनिंग इट टू यू फॉर द कॉन्सेप्चुअल बेसिस कि अगर डबलिंग टाइम आ जाए तो यू डू नॉट panic. Yeah, what exactly is a doubling time and what function it's going to use. So it will always use an exponential function, and doubling time is कि कितना टाइम हमारी population को लग रहा है डबल होने में. And always remember कि it's with respect to the population itself. I'm hoping कि this thing is very clear to you all. So there is one of the most important thing and a very important point that you need to understand with respect to the exponential function, and that would be the end of the chapter. उसके बाद हम लोग कुछ questions को practice कर लेंगे for you to have a better understanding from our basic book as well. और उसके बाद I'll be having a few previous year question papers with you in next class, ताकि तुम लोगों को previous year question के भी pattern समझ में आ जाए. Like I would be getting you recent papers दूंगी, ताकि तुम्हें पता चल जाए कि recent time में किस तरीके के question पूछे जाते हैं पेपर में और किस तरीके का pattern जो है वो follow हुआ है. Alright, so let's move with it. So there is this general expectation और a general exponential function के जो कुछ rules होते हैं, you need to understand that. It's a few point basically. If f0 is equal to a, in our case fx is equals to a. So you have to remember it while solving the question. अगर हमारा a की value is given to us like this, where p is greater than 0 and a is also greater than 0, then in such a case fx will increase by p% for each unit of x. fx is nothing but our function. अगर हमारे a की value is given to us to be this, and if p and a both are greater than 0, then fx would be increasing by p%. And the opposite is followed for if a is in negative, that is a decreasing function, and p is greater than 0 and at the same time a is greater than 0, then fx will decrease. fx will decrease by p% for each unit of x. I'm hoping this thing is very clear to you all. Take 9. Understand concepts. See from your book, and if you still have any issue, note it down and ask me. Alright? Let's solve a few questions from section. Let's try with question number 3. It says a savings account with an initial deposit. इसकी initial deposit से $100 and it earns a 12% interest rate. ठीक है. व्हाट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ सेविंग्स आफ्टर 2 years? तो 2 साल के बाद हमारे पास कितनी सेविंग्स हो जाएंगी? वी नो दैट इसमें कंपाउंडिंग इंटरेस्ट मिल रहा होगा हम लोगों को ऑफ कोर्स. तो हमारे पास T years यानी कि T years के बाद कितनी सेविंग्स हो जाएंगी आफ्टर T years? So how do we solve such questions? So according to a simple formula, हमारी initial deposit 1 upon में P, that was our interest rate, 12 divided by 100 to the power T, which upon solving we get 100 into 1.12 to the power T. This is the basic compound interest formula to find the principal value or to find the final value. The B part says make a table similar to table 3.1 and stop at 50 years. So let's see what exactly was the table 3.1. Alright, got it. So to make a table, हमारे को बोला गया है कि we need to stop at 50 years. So let's take a few 5. We would be putting it in the function. And our function is this. We would be substituting the values for t here. So if we substitute t by 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30 and 40, we get respective values, which is 112, 125.44, 176.23, 310.58. I have already solved it in my register for myself and I would suggest you कि तुम लोग भी करके देख लो. And do not go and keep solving it by your hand. Use a calculator because you would be allowed to use a calculator in an examination as well. Not a scientific one though. Normal one only. ठीक है? This is how you're gonna solve this question. Let's practice a few other questions. A few difficult and a few important ones, I would suggest. Okay, the rest of the questions are very easy for you to understand. So I'm hoping कि अभी तक ये सबको सब कुछ clear है and we are done with the third chapter with concepts and with questions practice. You can go and practice the questions on your own. And if you still have any doubt, then ask me because अगले chapter में हम लोग differentiation पे move कर रहे हैं, which is a very important chapter. And you might face a few difficulties there अगर तुम लोगों को पिछले concepts जो हैं वो clear नहीं है. So I would suggest कि इससे पहले वाले सब कुछ कर लेना because differentiation is a whole new topic. तो आगे की जितनी भी चीज़ होंगी हमारी इसके ऊपर ही चलती रहेंगी. आगे के जितने भी chapters हैं, study them properly. Alright. See you. Have a nice day. And do not forget to ask doubts for God's sake. Okay. Bye bye.